What's going on, folks? Today we're going to take a moment to reflect a little bit. Been talking about this all week. A lot of you haven't poured out the vanity yet, right? You're wondering what I mean by reflection. Looking at yourselves, right? Just a simple exercise. For the best of you out there who know that you've erred some way along the line, some people, that's what I'm saying. And so you want to fix that. You want to think about all of those things that you did that disenfranchised another person, caused them some type of pain or misery, right? Because in the end, we're all connected, right? And, you know, I can't know what you're experiencing until I'm willing to walk a mile in your shoes. The willingness, folks. Reason. Keep saying that word. We're going to talk about those words. Reason, right? And looking in the mirror, reflection, reason and reflection. Two of the things that have created the people that you deal with. A lot of these people, and there's only one word to explain or describe the type of people that you're dealing with. You're dealing with nutcases, folks. A lot of them are in poor mental health. Some of them are in poor physical health, but mentally they're disturbed. And there's a challenge for them every day to get along in social spaces and deal with people where they're not behaving toxically, you know, with toxicity or something. And, you know, and that's all you need for a basic day to get through your day. That's it. Right? You're doing a task, y'all go to work. Y'all go home. Simple. But the lack of reasoning and reflection, the inability to see a mirror, your own inner reflection. See where you're an asshole. Why are you an asshole? Maybe you're a grumpy person in the mornings, right? Okay, you're entitled to be the way you want. Maybe people leave you alone in the morning, they don't greet you or something because you don't like to be greeted. That's fine. But when someone comes to you in the nature of the work task or something, and they ask you a question, a professional question, because you should be able to, as a grown adult, separate your personal feelings, right, and your irrational thoughts. You should be able to separate certain things, right? And that's what makes people adults, right? Childish people are like children in their minds, and they just don't know how to cope with how they feel. It's about their feelings. In the real world, you have to learn how to tuck those things, folks. Okay? So you're dealing with unreasonableness because the person is not able to look at themselves and see who they were. I heard a story recently, and I thought this was so funny. There was a situation where there was a person who worked on a job for many years, and he had a lot of toxic coworkers. And then day in and day out, these coworkers tortured them, harassed them, did everything under the sun, no pun intended, great one. Everything under the sun to disenfranchise these people, to make them feel a certain way, play with their feelings, gaslight, all of the things that happen in a toxic workplace environment. All of those things. And so they watched this every day. They dealt with the same fucking cast of characters and fucking idiots every day. You know, specific people though, who picked and taunted and, you know, maybe in their work area or something, that person just left them holding the bag continuously for years. And they resented this person, but they kept it strong and they just did their job. So one day this person approaches them, extends their hand and says, shake my hand. And they're looking at the person like that person is crazy. See how we're talking about not being able to reason or being rational about what you're doing. You're not explaining to this person that was previously your enemy, that you showed unkindness to all of the time they've known you. So you come up to them and stick your hand out. They're thinking you got a shock device on your hand, or they're thinking you have some shit on your hand or something because you're trying to stick it to them again, once again. They have no reason to think you're doing anything else. Okay? Because they're reasoning, right? They've watched your pattern of behavior consistently over and over again, the foolishness. So then come to find out you're leaving and that's your last day. So you're going up to someone whom you've treated like an enemy the whole time you were there. You didn't approach anyone, you know, any of these other flying monkey fools that you sat in groups with and character assassinated people with, and all of the other people, the tag-alongers and all of this. None of those people did you seek out to let them know you were leaving, because you know what? You know, you suspect in your heart that they never cared about you anyway. So here you are going up to someone who never knew you, who never liked you or cared for you, one way or another, and you're trying to tell them that you're leaving. They're glad you're leaving. They're going to fucking throw a ticker tape parade when you walk out of the door, right? Because you think you're a rock star. A lot of you are fucking fools like this. You're not able to look at yourselves in the mirror and get that reflection. That's what I'm talking about. Because you're not reasoning how much of an asshole you truly are. If you face the truth, you would find this out. You would figure this out quickly. Ask around, take a poll, right? You're not a rock star at work, but you think you are. So day in and day out, that mental condition, the inability to reason about how you're acting or behaving, is why other people suffer greatly, folks. All the time. So when you take that and you turn that over to the bosses, the people who have authority over your lives in some situations, you know, your paychecks and stuff, they play games as well, right? They are the architects of this bullshit. And you know, really the buck stops with them and starts with them, because if they're going to be bullshitters, the atmosphere in the workplace is probably going to be the same. This is how this works, folks. So you have these bosses who are obsessed with you, and I've talked about this. Go check your manuals, folks. A lot of these mental conditions are things that are just, they're sickening when you really get into it. The stalking. So you have a boss, you know, any given day, you know, like I told you about some of these stalking, harassing bosses, could be male or female, for various reasons. They just like that control, and that's the sickness they have. So that control propels them to do things that are irrational. They're not reasonable. So on that Monday morning or some shit, when you're going to work, you're coming in and something, you're tired of the bullshit every day, and you see that boss, you know, your direct report or something, you know, and you go to this person, you know, to get your task for the day or something, and because maybe they saw you talking to another coworker and they didn't really approve of that, because they didn't like y'all being around each other. See, that's that control thing. I've talked about this in many ways, folks. The games, separating you at lunch, scheduling your break times, and switching everything around just for their satisfaction. No one else in the establishment is able to pinpoint or reason why they change everyone's schedule around just to get one person. That's that fly I'm talking about. And the bazooka presents itself in a situation where you're blowing that fly off the wall. You merely need a fly swatter to get rid of a fly. But these people are put out a fucking grenade launcher to get rid of a fly. So what happens when you translate that to work, your whole work schedule and itinerary gets changed around because someone wants to do you in. So that boss, because you didn't speak to them, you may have spoken to coworkers they don't like, they're going to stick it to you. So they're going to short your hours. They're going to put you on a weekend schedule concurrently for the rest of your life or something. They're going to do all of these things to hurt you, folks, based on how they're feeling inside, their inner reasoning or lack of it. You see what I'm saying, folks? So when you wonder how you're affected, maybe the most clueless of you, the most flat-footed of you, are not going to be able to see who's doing this stuff to you. Why, what their motive is. You may never figure it out because you're dealing with crazy people, folks. You can't reason craziness. But you know that you have to get an exit plan together, and this is part of what they're going to do. So dealing with these nutcases every day is something that you need to just take an assessment of. Look at all the people, realize why it's not important, why it's not worth it to you to be there anymore, and try to, you know, strike out somewhere else, right? Put in applications, look for other jobs, try to make another source of income or something, but do something, right, that empowers you. Because this is craziness, folks. The lack or inability to reason or reflect is why everything is the way it is. It's not your fault. You're dealing with nutcases. You're analyzing, assessing these motherfuckers every day. It's a shame. Because of childish behavior, because you're dealing with 5-year-olds who are trapped in 50-year-old bodies. Because you're dealing with people with lower insecurities who have to feel that power over you. Under any circumstance, they'll do anything just to get a taste of that power. You know? So reason, folks. Reason with yourselves about their lack of reasoning. That's what I want you to do. Realize, you know, it takes a mirror. It takes looking inside. I'm going to keep saying this because eventually, repetitively, you guys will get this if I keep telling and working in this exercise. Look at yourselves. If you're an idiot, why? What did you do? What did you say? Where did you intrude? All of these things should be playing in your mind. The reason, your reasoning is off. Right? If it's unnecessary roughness, folks. Oh, I love bad behavior. But I love mirrors. Mirrors show you the truth. I love reasoning. Reasoning is your ability to realize what's in that mirror. You get what I'm saying? All it takes, simple reflection. Looking at foes, knowing why they're foes. Okay? Feels good out here today, y'all. Get outside, enjoy the sunshine. Right? Enjoy all of the great things in your lives. Make the most of your life. Don't let people, you know, step on you unnecessarily. Period. Don't let anyone step on you. That's what I'll say. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Pick up my book, I Love Bad Behavior. You can pick the book up on Amazon as well as going over to my website, thinkbehavior.info, if you want information. Appreciate the comments, folks. You guys have a great day. Take care.